Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello everyone. My name is Lucius Ansar Jafar, matric number 2213258. I am from Kulia Sustainable Tourism and Contemporary Languages, IIUM. And today I'll be presenting a critical discourse analysis, political speeches delivered in the aftermath of the Pulwama incident. Now going to move on to the introduction. So this article chosen is called Controversies to Political Ideologies, a critical discourse analysis of speeches of Indian and Pakistani previous on Pulwama incident. It was written by Muhammad Iman Shah, Sain Ahmad, and Ali Danish. And it was published in 2001 in the Registered Journal, Volume 14, issue number 1, pages 1 to 15. And you can access this article through the Registered Journal's website. So let's get a little bit into this article. Well, this article it studies and investigates how political leaders, and specifically the prime ministers of India and Pakistan, use language to construct ideologies and influence public perception following the Pulwama attack in 2019. And the authors apply critical discourse analysis or CDA to uncover how linguistic choices reflect power, ideology, and national identity. That is a little bit of the introduction. Now moving on, we have is the research objectives and research questions. So the main objective is to examine how the speeches of Narendra Modi and Imran Khan reflect ideological stances through specific linguistic features. So this study has two research questions, which is how do premiers use language to construct national identity and political ideology? And the second one is what lexical and grammatical choices reveal attempts to control public perception. Moving on to the literature review. So the authors basically draw on the critical discourse analysis frameworks by Fairclough, Bundy, and Halliday. So Fairclough's three-dimensional model guides the analysis of facts, discourse practice, and social practice, while Bundy's ideological square helps identify strategies like positive self-representation and negative other representation. And moving on to Halliday's systemic functional linguistics supports the analysis of modality and transitivity and cohesion. That is what's used in this article. Moving on to the method piece. So this study, it uses a mixed method approach where you use both quantitative and qualitative. So the quantitative analysis is where they use an ANCOM software to identify word frequencies and chordal dances. So basically, these software are used only to see how frequent the word use in the speeches. And for the qualitative analysis, observational techniques were applied to interpret ideological implications, where the speeches were analyzed for pronoun use, modality, and intertextual reference. Moving on to the findings of this paper, a few findings we have is first one, have the pronouns. So in this paper, the pronouns used, both leaders seems to use we and they. Basically, the word we and they are used to construct in groups and out groups, while modality or modal verbs like must, should, and will were used to basically assert authority and agency. You must. So these words sounds like it has the power. And the next finding we have here is lexical choices. So lexical choices here. In modest speech, it emphasized nationalism and security, while in Hans, it focused more on peace and equality. And the last findings we have here, in their speeches, it also has intertextuality, where both of these speeches referred historical and religious narratives to legitimize their position. Now, after we have findings, we have the discussion. And these discussions found that the analysis reveals that both leaders actually use this language. They use language strategically to actually shape public opinion. And by shaping it, it reinforced ethnic ideologies. So we have that in Modi's discourse, it framed India as a victim of terrorism and emphasized retaliation, while we can see on the other part, in Han's speech, it more like it positioned Pakistan as a peace agent and challenged India's narrative. This contrasting discourses actually reflect deeper in political and ideologies and historical tensions. Now, in conclusion, this study actually demonstrates how political language is never neutral. Through CDA, we see how leaders manipulate linguistic features to construct ideologies. Not only that, it also asserts power. Using language, it asserts power and influence international perceptions. Basically, the Pullman speeches are powerful examples of how discourse operates with a specific social and political context to achieve communicated goals. Now, that's all from me. Thank you so much.